Hello everyone, welcome back to Guru's Academy with me, Miss Amruta. Now today we will be starting our last and that is the main natural resources, that is land. Now let's see what are the questions given to this. What is land made of? What do you see on land? What has man created on land? If a deep pit is dug in ground, what do you find there? Is land flat everywhere? Does man produce soil or land? Now let's see what our answer for this. Land is seen in forms of stones, soil and big rocks. It is not flat everywhere. Have you all seen that land is flat everywhere? No. We are having somewhere stones, there are big rocks, some mountains, and then somewhere we can see flat, isn't it? So it is hilly in some places and flat in others. All terrestrial animals. You all must be knowing what terrestrial animal means. Terrestrial animal means animals which are living on rocks, on land. So all terrestrial animals, including man, live on land. Some terrestrial dig burrows in some terrestrials dig burrows in ground for shelter. You all know what are these terrestrial big burrows? That means the animals which found shelter on ground. There are some animals which dig holes such as rats or snake, and even the big animals like bear. They use the big burrows for their shelter. This means that they use land for fulfilling their needs. We also use land for farming and for building houses and roads. We human beings, even we use land, isn't it? That is, when we do farming, if we do farming, we get rice, wheat, jar. That is for our living, isn't it? And if we build houses, those are built for our living, and roads. So we make use of plants and animals in forests that grow on land. The minerals, crude oils, and natural gases obtained from earth are very important for us. It means that land is an important resource. Now let us see exactly what land is made of. Now this is a very simple experiment given to y'all. Y'all can try this at home. What you have to do is take a transparent bottle. All of y'all must be having a transparent bottle at home. Take a transparent bottle at home, a handful of soil, some stones, sand, and some dry leaves and water. Next you have to do is cut off the upper tapering of the part of bottle. Put the rest of materials in lower part and add water. Stir this mixture thoroughly and put it aside. Now, what you have to do here is now you have to observe it the next day. You will see something very different and very interesting. This is what you can see. How does the mixture look now? That means you have to observe the bottle the next day. This is what you can see. First of all, you can see is the dry leaves, that is at the upper part, upper layer. Then you can see the soil. Next would be the sand, and next would be the small stones which you have taken, and at the last you can see the big stones. So students, do try this experiment at your home. So students, when you'll do your experiment with the bottle, when you'll be observing the different layers from top to bottom, you can observe this even on the land on earth looks like this. You can observe it when a pipeline is dug in your neighborhood. You can observe the pits dug for this. You can see some layers under the land surface, which has been shown in the figure. If the land has mature soil, now here mature means old. So if the land has old soil, the topmost layer which is formed by decomposition, now here Decomposition means decay. You all know what does decay means? Decay means it is the when the topmost layer, that is when the plants or animals, they die off, they fall off on the land, they got decay. That means खराब होने. Decomposition means decay. So this layer is called humus. That means when the plants or animals die and they fall off on the land, they get decay, and that is the portion which is called the humus, and which is usually found in dense forest. Now you all know what is the meaning of dense forest, where you can see number of trees found. We say that jungle. You can find that in mountainous areas. That is the dense forest. So the land below this is full of soil. You can see over here. So the next layer to humus is the soil, and that is full of sand, small stones, worms, and insects. So soil and pieces of bedrocks. Now the bedrocks means hard rocks. You all must have also seen that there are small stones in the soil. So those are called bedrocks, and these are found below this layer of land. And this soil is immature. Now here immature means which is not fully developed. As we have seen that the land is the mature soil, and that is the topmost layer. That is the old soil. So further we have the proportion of soil decreases. That is, we can say over here, the proportion of the soil decreases, and we find rock increases. So as we go to down to the layer, that is, after the humus we have soil, then we have immature soil, and next layer comes where there is less number of soil, where we found small rocks, and then we get is bedrock, and this is the layer of bedrock. The main minerals in the soil is derived from these rocks. That is why the soil in different region is different. The the color and texture of soil are both determined by bedrocks. Now let's see what is the process of soil formation. The soil on the land is formed by natural process. You all know what does natural and man-made process means. So similar is here. The soil on the land is formed by natural process. The abiotic component of soil. Now you all know what is biotic and what is abiotic. Biotic means living things. So what are the living components of soil? That is plants and insects. And similarly, abiotic. Your abiotic components means what? Non-living things. So what are the non-living things? Components of soil? Those are minerals, waters, and air. So abiotic component of soil are supplied through weathering of bedrock. Now your weathering means breaking of bedrock. So breaking of bedrock due to heat, cold, and water of sun, wind, and rain respectively. The bedrocks break down into the pieces. Stones, sand, and soil are formed from these pieces. So that means when there is breaking of bedrock, that is due to heat, cold, water of sun, and wind and rain, the bedrocks it break down into pieces, and small stones, sand, soils are formed from these pieces. Microbes. You all know what does microbe means. Microbe means the organisms which are very small, which can't be seen through our naked eyes. So microbes, worms, and insects are found among them. Rodents like mice and rats are also found here. The roots of trees growing on the land also helps for weathering of rocks. Process of soil formation is slow and continuous. It takes about thousands of years for a 2.5 centimeter layer of mature soil to form. So you all can imagine What does a mature soil takes the thousands of years for its formation? So we must keep in mind that soil is a very valuable resource which needs to manage carefully, which can be easily damaged. Soil can get destroyed in a short period due to floods, storms, and human activities such as mining. That is why it is necessary to conserve soil, to protect soil, and to prevent soil erosion of land. You all know what does erosion means? Erosion means destroy. So to prevent destroying of land, it is necessary to protect them. The best remedy for this is to increase green cover of land. Erosion of land if reduced Erosion of land is reduced if grass, trees and bushes are grown on it. So you all have understood what is the importance of soil. If there is no green cover on land, erosion of soil can be happened. And if we want to decrease the erosion of soil, we need to grow trees on it. Now let's see what is given next. Obtain the specimens of soil from various places in your surroundings, such as your own yard, garden, hills, riverbanks, fields, and rocky ground. You have to note differences in these specimens with respect to their color. How do you feel them? What is texture of them and size of the particle found in them? So students, we have seen what the humus is. Now your humus, it is the layer formed on soil due to decomposition. I have told you all what does decomposition means. That is decay of dead plants and animals by microbes. Humus supplies nutrients to soil. Humus is also important for aerating soil. Now you all know what aerating means. It is the soil with small holes which allows air, water and nutrients. So it is important for aeration, aerating the soil and for holding water in the soil. So the proportion of humus in the upper layer of good fertile soil is about 33 to 50%. So let's see what is given next. What are the constituents of soil and classify them as biotic and abiotic constituents. So students, I have told you before that what are the constituents of soil. They are abiotic and biotic living things. We all know what is biotic and abiotic. So soil is composed of both biotic and abiotic components. And biotic components are plants, animals and insects. And abiotic are minerals, water and air. So I got this question. Now next is forest on land gets buried underground due to great upheavals. Now you all know what upheaval means. Upheaval means a sudden change. So there was a sudden change which took place on our earth many years ago. And after that the process of formation of fossil fuels. You all know what fossil fuels are. Those are coal, natural gas, fuel oil from the remains of living things took place underground. We get fuels like petrol, diesel, kerosene, paraffin, and other useful materials like tar and wax from fossil fuels, that is the called crude oil. So students, from this we understand that living things use land, water and air available on earth. Is it only for living things? No, it is also for us. That is, we human beings also use land, water, and air which is available on earth. However, the proportion of these resources are actually put use are very small as compared to whole earth. As we have seen before, that land is used 29%, fresh water or potable water is 0.3, and remaining is the oxygen, that is 21%. This is the percentage which is used by living things on earth. Even in these small proportions, the resources shown above table are sufficient. Only it is very necessary for man to control his greed. It is not that just man is using this, but remaining all living things are using this which is present on our earth. Only it is very sorry. In other words, we can say that man must use these resources judicially with awareness that they are meant for all other living things and not just for mankind. Students, you all must also know that IMD, that is Indian Meteorological Department, this was established in 1875 for studying the weather in Indian subcontinent. The main function of this institute is to observe the weather and to make weather forecast. You all know that you all must know that when there is going to be a storm, as we had just experienced, we get this information from the Institute of IMD, that is Indian Meteorological Department. This institute also conducts research related to changes in weather, makes forecasts about rains, and studies the developments related to global warming. So, hope you have understood this lesson very clearly. Now, let's see what we have learned from this lesson. Now, first is natural resources. We have seen what does natural resources means. The elements available in nature which fulfill the basic needs of living things are called natural resources. Air, water, and land are the important natural resources. Soil has both biotic and abatic constituents. There are many constituents of air such as nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, inert gas, water vapor, and dust particle. Ozone layer is the protective shield of Earth. Natural resources should be used carefully and sparingly. So, you all must have understood how air, water, and land are important for all of us. Hope you all have understood what I have taught you all. If you like it, do comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you.